Scenes of resurrection are always all around us. And so, why is it so hard to believe sometimes? Friends, if you are struggling with doubts on your faith journey today, know that you're not alone in that. For today's scene of resurrection shows us that even Jesus' own disciples had to wrestle with doubts. And so let's take a look at that for a minute and see what perhaps they can teach us. Today's text comes from John chapter 20, beginning in verse 24. So would you listen with me for these words? But Thomas, who was also called the twin, one of the 12, was not with them when Jesus came. So the other disciples told him, "We have seen the Lord." But he said to them, "Unless I see the mark of the nails in his hands, and put my finger in the mark of the nails, and my hand in his side, I will not believe." A week later, his disciples were again in the house, and Thomas was with them. Although the doors were shut, Jesus came and stood among them and said, "Peace be with you." And then he said to Thomas, "Put your finger here and see my hands. Reach out your hand and put it in my side. Do not doubt, but believe." Thomas answered him, "My Lord and my God." And Jesus said to him, "Have you believed because you have seen me? Blessed are those who have not seen and yet have come to believe." We are a people who crave the comfort of certainty, or at least I know that I am. For millennia, since the dawn of time, theologians and philosophers have been seeking to prove God's existence through logical proofs and rational arguments, to try to provide foolproof ways for us to have certainty about our belief. It's a very human, I think, desire, and one that I felt at many different points in my life in many different ways. This desire to know deep down that what you believe is really, really true. So I don't blame Thomas. I don't get mad at him for doubting. I think he's living into a deeply human desire. It's hard to believe sometimes. And to be honest with you, I'm a little bit jealous that Thomas seems to get his irrefutable proof. He gets the benefit of having the risen Lord in the flesh right in front of him, saying, "Here, look at the wounds where the nails went into my hands. Look at the wound on my side where the spear went in. Let me prove to you that it is me, that I am raised, that who I said I was, I am." I can't imagine Thomas wrestling with too many doubts after that moment. And, we don't have the benefit of having the risen Lord right in front of us. We have, though, these scenes of resurrection that are constantly in our midst. We constantly have these signs, I believe, every day all around us that are evidences, little nudges of God's abiding love that is always with us. And if we would just tune our ears and tune our eyes a little bit, perhaps we would have a better sense of those. But even those things are not enough to give us that irrefutable proof that we want and that Thomas wanted. And so what are we left to do? I think at the end of the day, we're asking about the nature of faith. Faith is believing in something that we cannot truly see, something that we cannot really know. And so at the end of the day, faith is, it's a risk. It takes a little bit of courage to say yes to something that you're not absolutely true about. We could be wrong about all of this. And yet, there are signs that we constantly see, experiences from our past, friends, mentors, things that for some reason keep awakening in us this wonder that perhaps there is a deep mystery that pervades all of reality, a deep mystery of love that is always with us, no matter where we go. And so we choose to believe, not because we have fully seen, but because, as the text said, blessed are those who have not seen and yet come to believe. So, why do you believe? Or what makes it hard for you to believe? Which doubts seem to be really difficult for you? I think no matter where you are, I think you have something meaningful to offer to this conversation. And so I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. And if you comment something below, I'll respond and we can have a little conversation about what it means to believe or what it means to wrestle with doubts. So I encourage you to give this post a like, maybe even share it, and engage in the comments down below. And we'll have a good conversation about this. Until next time, I hope you guys are blessed and you stay safe.